Hello, welcome back. Our last video we talked about how to do a blanket stitch. In this video we're going to do something different. We're going to do a rose petal. But the instructions for this one is a bit long. So I have it separated in two parts. So we're going to start with part one. This one we're going to pop up at the beginning. Okay. So I'm going to start with the actual petal part. This one here at the stem, I'm going to show you something different. So we'll do the petals first. Beginning. Okay. And then pop down at the end. Okay. And then don't pull all the way. It's so awkward, guys. Do not do that. And then pop back up at the beginning. Okay. There we go. We're going to grab another needle. Okay. This is another needle. I'm going to put it right next to it. Okay. I want to make it kind of even. Okay. Grab another, pop it down right next to it, and then cast on the thread. So you're going to grab the thread that is coming closest to the needle. You're going to cast it on like knitting. So I put the thread over my index finger and in between my middle finger and my thumb. So I'm holding it like I'm pointing. Okay. Okay. I'm going to move it so it's a little bit on top of my thumb. I'm going to twist my hand so I end up with like a little circle. You can see that there. And then I'm going to put it over my needles and pull. So you end up with that. And you're going to continue to the length of the petal that you want to make. Okay. Hand, twist over the needles. Okay. Now you only really want to do enough to where you just can use. Sorry, you have to be careful with that too. Until you get the length that you need for the petal. You don't really want to do any more. It causes issues. So you can try to check. I'll probably do, let's see, one or two more. Okay. Now that you have enough, you're going to pull the extra needle, because the point of the needle for this one is to make it so it's not too tight on your initial needle. You're going to hold on to what you've made, and then grab your needle and you're going to pull. So now you have that. Okay. Just fluff it up. And then you're going to go back down right there. So you can fluff it up. Okay. And move. And that's why you can do the next one the same way. And so when you do your second petal, normally I did have it drawn correctly on this end. So I want to tell you the reason why. You want to make sure that it crosses over so it hides everything. Like it hides the end. So you do want to make sure it crosses it. Sorry. Okay. And put your knife in. Okay. Grab your thread, circle, put into circle, and then fold. Fingers, circle, circle, go circle over a needle. Okay. Enough. You pull the extra needle and through, up, down at the end. There we go. I honestly think I might have done it too tight, so I would do a little less because I can't fluff it up as much as I would have liked. Okay. Okay. So when you're doing this, be so very careful. I've already poked myself twice. And not enough. I'm gonna call it one more. I'm gonna pull all the way through. Perfect. Okay. So you wanna fluff it up a little bit more. That way it's a little bit easier to hide everything. And it looks a little bit better. So this one, I think I did less than I initially intended, but that's okay. Or less than I did in the last two times. But I like it. That's how you do that. The only thing I personally would change doing this is make it closer together so it really topples over each other. I think that would look 10 times better, but this is just for practice, so you definitely need to do this on your own. Okay. Now I'm going to show you what I'm talking about for this first one. We're going to start here. It's pretty similar. But, there we go. There you go. Same thing, almost. Except that instead of casting on, you're just going to wrap it. Just going to go around and around in circles. Make sure you push it down, make it tight, and continue. Do try to make it so it doesn't accidentally work on top of each of them. Make sure that it's right next to each other. So each of the times you go around your needle, make sure that whenever you circle it, it's right next to each other and not top of each other. Okay. And then just do as much as you need. You're going to pull your extra needle, fold it down the same way. There you go. Pull it all the way down. And then go back down right where you wanted it to. Okay. And there you go. So instead of it looking more stitched like, it's just, it kind of looks like a cocoon or a caterpillar. Okay. The issue you may have with this one, which I almost ended up with, is if you accidentally do a little bit too much, in which case it kind of ends up like I did here, where it kind of puckers up at the very end. That's not terrible. Okay, so that's how you do this. This one, you can practice either to make it a straight line, or this one that we did for the stem, or I guess with the very middle of it. I think I just accidentally thought you would do a stem. But overall, that's how you do this. Okay. Tie it off. Okay. And that's it. And we're done with everything. Now, here's the other thing that we have to think about now that we've finished. Okay. There you go. We can then, once we're done with everything, put it into water and all of this will disappear. But what will also disappear is the names of all of the stitches. So what I recommend is either you can try to stitch over it in my handwriting to keep the lettering, and I 100% would not recommend this. I would not recommend do that. I hope you don't. I don't think my handwriting is good, and when we do lowercase, it is way more curvy than if we do capital letters. So what I instead suggest is, now that you have the PDF or PNG that you can keep and download, you have the names of everything that you need, and it's also the title of the YouTube video, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But you can put this in water and then put your hoop back on, and then go over each of these and put the names of the stitches in all caps, because it makes it so much easier to do singular stitches. So like, take for example E, you can just do 4 stitches of one down for like the back of the E, and then 3 to make the actual E, and then 2 for the F, like that. And so you just have 3 stitches there. That's what I recommend. Hopefully you can do it. But just food for thought. Okay, thank you for following. Bye.